Welcome to Takes Invest, where we talk about investing, finance, and professional. As a recording time of 7:38 a.m. on Eastern Time, Ethereum coin traded $3,228, down about 0.48% so far. With respect to the overall crypto market, you can see clearly this is a kind of a mixed bag in the moment right now, with some altcoins being a little bit more bearish than other, while selective coins, the Shiba Inus, the doggy dog worlds of the world, I guess, are currently up quite nicely, about 11.35% for Dogecoin, and Shiba Inus are following on, up about close to 4% respectively. And on the equity side, in a pre-market perspective, today we are going to be experiencing some volatility coming from the financial sector, right? It seems like, with respect to some of the bank stocks, has been relatively inflated due to the recent affectation on the interest hikes. The bond yields, they typically are, they get the most favorable treatment from the market when you see more stirs from the Fed, obviously triangulates with the banks. And right now, in a pre-market perspective, investors are foreshadowing some sort of a flat to down movement, which translates to Dow Jones currently down about 0.2%. Nasdaq's a little bit more severe, down about 2.51%. So it's almost in a correctionary type of environment at the moment. S&P down about 0.30% so far. Okay, so what's driving all of this normalization or sell-off? Remember what's been happening this week, right? Just chronologically speaking. I'm not going to go through into very in-depth, but just know that on Monday, we have heard from Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan on their economic outlook on the US futures going forward. They foresee that despite the current states of Great Depression that we're in right now, we are foreshadowing one of the biggest wealth transfer in 2022 going forward, that we foresee one of the biggest rebound in 2022. So it's obviously a relatively bullish sentiment, right? And subsequent to that, we have heard from Jerome Powell on his testimony in front of the Senate. Obviously, his verbiage was very comparable to Wall Street expectation, right? 3 to 4 hikes that we'll be expecting in this year. And then subsequent to that, we have heard from the CPI report and then the PPI report, right? The CPI report was aligned despite the negative number, which is on a quantitative perspective is definitely not a good one. But in a comparable perspective, it was definitely aligned with Wall Street expectations. So give that benefit of the doubt, net positive on all 3 days. So constellations aligned, 3 days of rally, subsequently translates in the 4th day, the PPI report came out. Obviously, with the PPI report on Thursday, triangulate with the Fed's meeting as well. And also, as we heard from yesterday night, that Supreme Court seems to block Biden COVID vaccine mandates for businesses. With all of these stirs in the political front, it definitely drives some volatility and giving the market some sort of psychological reason to take profits, because when you stir more uncertainty, people tend to just stay away. So it's not like a major thing that's driving the needle. It's more of just a psychological affectation that people are collectively doing, right? So in addition to that, we heard from the Feds last night again from the Philadelphia Fed's president, Patrick Harker. He basically confirms the same thing that Jerome has talked about, and obviously Jamie has talked about, obviously from JP Morgan, that he foresees 3 to 4 interest hikes this year to likely fight inflation. And he believes that we should be treasuring water nice, delicately, and he believes that it makes sense to, just on a quantitative perspective, decrease the Fed's reserve $8.8 trillion in balance sheet, because it's important for us to rebalance and, basically revigorate the U.S. economy all over again by appreciating the U.S. dollar, right? So today is the Friday as well. As you know, this is something we've been talking about. That is typically a weekend affectation. People are looking for a reason to take profit. So, this is not really a surprise. But for you guys, I'm wearing a green watch, and I'm also wearing my green sweater, well, white sweater with the green logo. So in support, obviously, for a rebound, hopefully. But obviously, I am not a wizard, despite I'm in a rope. Nor am I wearing green today because I believe that the market's going to go green because I'm wearing green purely. It's just because I'm in good faith and in good spirit alongside with you. So with respect to the technical analysis, let's just dive right in. Oh, before I do that, let me just tell you that I am actually got my test results from my COVID test yesterday. So I am confirmed to be going to France tonight, and I'm going to be flying on the red eye, and then I'm going to be in Paris tomorrow. So obviously with the technological hurdle, I will have limited computer access, internet access. I'll have it, but I don't have the gadget that I would have in New York, obviously, and I'm not going to be bringing all my stuff there, right? But for my Patreon members, I've updated the sheets, right? And let me know. I'll still be in direct contact with you. Obviously, I have access because Patreon works very differently to YouTube. I actually have a direct messenger thing that you could privately message me or whatever. So just let me know. And again, I just really appreciate. I had a one-on-one with one of my good friends last night from Patreon, Brandon. Really just wonderful conversation, really motivating me. Appreciate your time again, and I really just enjoy our chat last night. So really appreciate you. And for the ones that have made a request onto adding stocks list, I'm actually going to be adding the ones so you see on the next one. So let me know. And I'm still going to be updating this on a daily basis, so don't worry about it. And let's just dive straight into the technicals. So respective recording time of 7:45 a.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum country $3,228, down about 0.48% so far. Right now, the 37 out of 70, and at the same time, we're still forming a golden cross. We're still curving up, so it's not really like a reversal. It's just more of a normalization at the moment, right? So we're flat, right, because of all the stirs in the market. So right now, it's either we bounce from the 13150 or go back up to the 3325 and regain momentum to go back to the 3472 at the moment. And I think today is a Friday, and tomorrow, the weekend's coming. So if there's no negative news, we could keep going. But obviously, if we see more negative news coming, or some sort of a news around the earnings call coming out from the financial sector, we could be going back to the 3150, and I think the rock bottom technically would be somewhere around like the 2850, to be honest with you, in the near term. So Bitcoin down about 1%, comparable to the market overall. Right now, the 42,000. So right now, bouncing off of it. And the next level is either we go up to the 44 or go back to 40. We're relatively oversold at 35 out of 70. We're about to form a golden cross as well. So I would say right now it's still a tolerable level to incur risk. Dogecoin absolutely would not touch this to save your life at the moment. Very, very crazy right now. 62 out of 70. Again, the better level, the logical level, was anywhere from 1427 to the bottoms, right? So right now, we form a golden cross. That's why we're surging like crazy right now. But you can see how much of an outlier this is. So this is very, very not advisable, not a good risk level to take. Cardano right now, it's a flat, 45 out of 70. I would still touch it at the 119 or anywhere from 119 to 115 from here. Solana down about 6%. At the moment, it's bouncing. It's going to bounce from basically 133, which is the next level. So 130, 113, or 155, which is the next level we go up to with the 42 out of 70. So still tolerable, but not the best, obviously. XRP is down about 3.42%, 76 cents. So we broke below 78. So it's either we go back to the 75, which is the first level, or 74, somewhere around there, with the 40 out of 70 about to form a golden cross. So it's just consolidating at a comfortable level. Makes sense, right? So as we get market confirmatory signal, I think as the market drags up, it's like a fly in front of my face, sorry. And we should technically come back up to be above 78 cents and regain momentum to 88 from here. Polkadot is down about 1.25%. Anywhere from the 23.75 to below would be better. Right now, the 41 out of 70. So it's okay, not the best, not the worst, you know, but definitely much better than days before when we were like starting like relatively, you know, at a exponential level. ALGORAND's at the 136, so we're still hovering. We've been hovering around this level for quite some time now, I see. So 136 to 125 are still good level with the 42 out of 70. So ALGORAND seems like it's still bearish, so it's gonna come down to 125 ideally. Shiba Inu is up about because Shiba Inu is up because it's dragged by Dogecoin, not because it's up by itself. So right now the 46 out of 70, relatively short-lived, I would say. Again, anywhere from the low 2400 to 1400 to 900 are still better level for us. MACD at 222 right now, and right now we're in a very bearish state right now at the 48 out of 70. Obviously a head and shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder, clear head and shoulder. So we will come back down to 175 to 143 from here. AVAX down about 1%, 80 to 60 is still good level. I think we're coming because head and shoulder is very clear. Luna, same thing I would say. Wow, it's head and shoulder everywhere right now. 62, 52, 45. So I think these last three, MACD, AVAX, and Terra are all relatively bearish at the moment. Again, I'll update this so you see the next one on the Patreon, so look out for that one. I think I have like 45 crypto and like 45 stocks right now. So definitely getting up there the list. So with respect to risk management level, these are the level to dollar cost average at. Obviously, for my Patreon members, you see much more updates, but still in the same frame. So let me know if you have any questions. So I'm going to be in Paris, but I'll still update throughout today before I head on to the airport. I'm going to be going out to the airport around like 3:30 p.m. But just let me know how I can help you in the meantime. For my Patreon members, obviously I will be responsive. But I do know that I have a 6 hours difference. So technically it's already like almost like noon time in Paris already. So apologies if there's a time zone difference. But yeah. But if you guys are in France, let me know, give me a shout, and I'd love to get your suggestions on restaurants and stuff like that. I do have a relatively good itinerary that I've planned out with my sister. So we're obviously gonna go to the Louvre, go to the museums, or say I'm gonna be staying somewhere around like the relatively nice region because like we don't go to Paris all the time. So I decide to like go kind of all out onto renting a nice Airbnb, right? And I'm also planning on going to the catacomb. But my sister said it might make sense to maybe reserve the tickets like last minute. So, but I don't know. It's my third time going there. It's my family's first time going there. So, I look forward to it. Spending some time for just a week before I come back to the U.S. and recontinue my grind on a daily basis. But obviously, I'll still be working away, in Paris. So let me know how I can help you. All right. That's it for this morning, and take care.